meet me at the door.
Good morning and welcome to America in the Morning. I'm Wolfgang Beethoven, but you can call me Bach. Today we have two very special guests with us, the singer-songwriter Adele and her co-writer Paul Epworth. Please give them a hand. Nice to meet you. Please take a seat. Welcome. Adele, we've all heard your songs all over the radio, and you have a large audience here who wants to ask you some questions. You ready to do that?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. Our first question comes from Elizabeth from Scottsdale, Arizona.
I can relate to your song because it deals with a breakup like I've recently experienced, but I was just wondering how you incorporated this into your music.
Finally, I can see you crystal clear.
Well, there's actually a lot of hidden symbolism within not only the words of the song, but also in the musical aspect. But my co-writer Paul here had a lot to do with that aspect, so we're going to turn that over to him.
Well, that's actually a very good question. Rolling in the Deep starts out monophonic but becomes polyphonic during the chorus. As the song becomes polyphonic, Adele's heartache becomes more and more dominant and starts taking over her emotions. The polyphony illustrates the fire in her soul bursting forth and consuming her emotional state and causing stress and confusion that one would normally associate with a breakup. The beginning of the song seems to be monophonic, which can relate to her attempting to maintain composure after having dealt with such an emotional stress. Just as a fire spreads, builds and consumes an area, her emotions begin to, like a fire, flame up and to take over her, not only her composure, but also the music itself.
We used the texture of the song to demonstrate how I was feeling at the time of the breakup. We didn't, just want to use the words to it, so we decided to incorporate the musical aspect through texture into the song so that people could actually, if they wanted to take the words out of the song, they could still, they could feel how I felt during the time of the breakup, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. That was a great question. Now we have another question from Charlie from your home country of jolly old England, dealing with the harmony of the song.
Miss Adele, there's some contrasting sound within the song. Was that done on purpose? And if so,
Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay your ship bare.
The harmony to the song was actually done in a very specific kind of way. The song was written in a C minor key, which it kind of gives the song a dissonant sound, but at the same time, the polyphonic chorus kind of contrasts with it. With the C minor, the key of C minor, which the song was written in, giving it a dissonant sound, it kind of relates to the way that I was feeling and kind of adds to the depressing sense that you can feel within the song as the song is going with the words and the music. The contrast of it compares my fluctuation of emotions that were taking place from anger to sadness to bitterness, in that order, in somewhat of a sense. But like I said, the harmony to the song was done in a very specific and very thoughtful kind of way.
Man, these questions are so intense.
I know.
Paul, Adele obviously has an amazing voice, and the song's a very wide range. Was this done to stress her ability and talent, or is there something deeper to it?
See, I'll leave with every piece of you.
by her tone of voice, the song starts off with an angry-sounding melody, which can be portrayed by the angular shape of the music. The pitch range is wide, implying that her emotions are constantly up and down and never really stable. A high pitch in the chorus is symbolic of her emotional high, types of emotional high that someone would feel in such a breakup and emotional stress. The clear cadences and short phrase lengths demonstrate her one-track mind to get back at the one who caused this heartbreak. The beginning of the song paints a picture of a fire burning in her heart, as if she has a terrible heartburn. As painful as heartburn is, Adele hates the feeling that's consuming her like a fire.
Someone else actually has a question concerning Adele's voice. Daniel in the back row, please go ahead and ask your question. Aside from Adele's voice, what were other types of sounds that you try to incorporate into the song regarding instruments and other such things?
Don't underestimate the things that I will do.
My voice type is contralto, and it's the dominant form of timbre in the song. There are not many background sounds, which allows the listener to focus in on the words of the song and on the musical aspect of it. The focus is on my voice, which relates to the predominant feelings of wanting to get back at my ex-lover, who obviously, I mean, you can tell in the song how he broke my heart. We wanted to give the song kind of blues sound with a rough or raw implication, indicating my depressed emotion. There's also, in case you haven't noticed, there's a tambourine playing in the background. And that can kind of serve as a metaphor as for like my shaken up emotions, I guess, because, you know, you kind of tap the tambourine. So there is a little bit of symbolism within that aspect as well.
There's a fire starting in my...
I noticed that there were also drums and guitars in the song. I thought that they kept a very steady rhythm throughout. You mentioned the song was written in C minor, and I noticed it had a 4/4 meter. And I thought this the minor melody paired with the scars on your heart to give the song a very negative connotation. The song is very very fastly paced with a really high tempo, with over 100 beats per minute. Does that sound about right to you guys?
Oh, I definitely say you did a good job analyzing that aspect of the song. A high tempo relates to a strong, fast heartbeat sound. It's often associated with encountering a stressful situation.
The song really swings from loud to soft throughout. What were your motives for doing this, and where did you decide to put the exaggerations in sound?
Well, you see, that's a really great question. If you listen to the music throughout the whole entire song, you'll see that the dynamics actually do fluctuate. You know, they move up and down throughout the music. During the chorus, the dynamics are fortissimo, which means they're really loud, which it illustrates her anger, which she had buried down deep at one point, but now it's just kind of lashing out because she doesn't know what to do with it. The strong dynamics in the chorus paint a picture of me, Adele, crying out from all the pain that I encountered. The instruments are very staccato, especially that strong bass line and the muted guitar that are in the background as well.
The scars of your love remind me of...
We haven't really talked about the lyrics of the song and how they correspond to the music. Could you give us a brief overview of the form of the song, how it relates to you at the time you were feeling when you guys wrote it?
Well, you see, like I said before, if you were to take the words and the music and dissect them, just pull them apart, you could see the same feeling in both the music and the words. The words of the verses have a pattern or a form that go along the lines of A, A, B, B, whereas the musical component has the form of A, B, A, B. The musical components are repetitive, implying that this breakup kept recurring in my mind. Just, you know, things kept making me think of it, and it just drove me crazy. Every verse has a distinct sound, which appears as if I'm reminiscing on what we once had, but now, obviously, is gone again.
Man, there's just so much more to this song than I originally thought. Adele, you and Paul have been such a great guest, but unfortunately we're just out of time. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. It's been great.
Okay. Until next time, I'm Wolfgang Beethoven, but you can call me Bach. Goodbye, everybody.
We